Hello guys, welcome back to some Modern Man MTG here today, and today we're going to be playing some Living End. So unfortunately for the Living End deck, Dredge has not fallen off, so I don't think it has gotten much better, if any better at all. Um, my previous video I mentioned if Dredge was going to fall off, this deck would get a lot better, but Dredge unfortunately is still a big deck, so I don't know how well this deck's positioned right now. I think it's alright. I still think it gets hit by a lot of the Dredge hate, so I don't, and it's not as good as Dredge, I don't think, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and try the game and see how it goes for us here. Remember, guys, I always want you to let me know down below how you guys are doing, how your week's been, anything like that. Just go ahead and let me know. And another question I always have to do is go ahead and comment down below any interesting deck list you've seen recently. And I'll look into building them if I have the cards or anything like that. And so let's take a look at this hand. We have one Cycler, we have a Cascade spell. Unfortunately, we're basically mulling a 6 with this hand. We got a Living End. But I don't think this hand's bad. I just don't think it's great. Yeah, I'll try it. Got Fairy Macabre too, in case our opponent's doing any graveyard shenanigans. When it cracks their Scalding Tarn, gets an island, cast Serum Visions. Okay, so my opponent's basically any blue deck as of right now. Drew Street Wraith, which is very good for us. So we'll just go ahead and play the Blood Crypt, untap, and pass turn. What we really need our opponent to do is play a creature so we can Demonic Dread it, or draw a green so we can Beast Within something, and then Demonic Dread the Beast Within token. Opponent plays Scalding Tarn, cracks their Scalding Tarn. Gets a Watery Grave. Tapped, okay. Interesting. Cast another Serum Vision. Something I would like to point out about my opponent's play, he did it correctly, is to crack your fetch before you play your Serum Visions. Just because if you want to keep cards on top, but you need to crack your fetch, that makes it awkward. Also, if you crack your fetch before, if you put cards on bottom, they'll stay on bottom, and you'll want to draw that particular card. Just something I've seen a lot of players play. It's just a nice tight play if you do it that way. Cycle the Architect's Will. Draw a Monstrous Carabid. I'll go ahead and cycle the Street Wraith since we're still looking for our green. There's the green, so we don't have to aggressively cycle our lands anymore. Here I'm interested in playing the Copperline Gorge and passing turn. I was debating playing the Overgrown Tomb Tap there to conserve some life, but I don't think I need it right now. I also just have no idea what my opponent's playing. They might be playing like Grixis Delve. Opponent's in the tank. Pass the turn. Still curious what my opponent's playing. Plays another Scalding Tarn, my opponent's third Scalding Tarn for the game. Cracks their Scalding Tarn, falls to 17, gets a Blood Crypt, untapped. So I do believe my opponent's just playing Grixis Delver. Grixis Control. Liliana's fine, I think. Yeah, I got a Fairy Macabre to deal with Liliana. It's fine. Go ahead and cycle the Carabid. Draw the Wooded Foothills. Go ahead and take our turn. Draw another Carabid. So here, I'm going to consider Beast Withining something. I don't know what I want to Beast Within yet. Should I Beast Within one of their lands or their Liliana? Go ahead and pass turn as of right now. I don't think I need to do it during their upkeep or anything. Opponent plays a polluted delta. Just decides to not do anything. Bold move by the opponent when they have Liliana in play. Maybe I just don't need to beast within anything here. So I think I'll just cycle the draw a Street Wraith. Go ahead and keep that in my hand. Nope. I guess I mistimed the Carabit. I thought it was the end step. Oh well. Now we'll go to the end step. Take my turn. Violent Outburst is a very good draw there. Go ahead and play the Foothill, pass turn, get a little deck thinning. So something to keep track of is if I can kill my opponent if I resolve a living unit. So right now we're at 3, 6, 7, 11. This will put us at 14 if I cycle my Street Wraith. 16, 17, I think, if I cycle the Macabre. 5, 9, 13, 16, 19, actually. Yeah, 19, I think. So yes, I do believe I have lethal. It's just trying to resolve the living end is going to be the problem. That's fine. So here, I think I'm going to try to beast within the Liliana. Try to bait a counter spell. Let's go ahead and pop the graveyards out. I'm assuming my opponent has Snapcaster in their deck. They let it resolve. That's interesting. I'm going to cast Serum Vision. That's fine. Something to note here is my opponent was keeping 4 mana up. So I believe they probably have like a Cryptic in their hand. Crack the Wooded Foothills. Grab the Stomping Ground tapped. Okay, play the Bloodstained Mire. I'm trying to decide here if I want to Demonic Dread the Beast. Huh. If I cycle my Street Wraith, I'll go ahead and wait another turn. I don't think I need to yet. So what I was baiting was if I cycle my Street Wraith and draw the Spirit Guide, I could Demonic Dread this. They counter the Ad Nauseam, or not the Ad Nauseam, the Living. And I can Violent Outburst for the third Living End in the deck. Just a thought. Opponent cracks their Polluted Delta. Gets a Watery Grave tapped. Plays Steam Vents tapped. Attacks for 3, a fall to 12. Opponent's end step. Crack the Bloodstained Mire. Get a Watery Grave tapped. Cycle the Street Wraith. Draw a Kazakh Wolf Run. It's fine. Draw a card. Drew the Spirit Guide, which is good for us. So what I'm debating here is I wish it was double Violent Outburst opposed to double or Demonic Dread Violent Outburst, so I could just do it during their turn and untap and not care if they have a Wrath. But unfortunately, that is not what it's looking like. So we're going to put Kazakh Wolf Run, Demonic Dread the Beast, Cascade Trigger, cast Living End. Opponent's going to counter swell the Living End, assuming they do. I'll pass turn here. Take 3 and fall to 4. So another reason why I think Living End is worse than Dredge is because you have a fairly medium matchup against the control decks. So I'm on a 1-turn clock or 2-turn clock, but I think my opponent probably has Bolt. So we're just going to cast the Violent Outburst here. So as I was saying, I think the reason Dredge is better than Living End is because it has better matchup against control. The opponent can't counter the Narcomoebas or the Prized Amalgams or anything like that. Oh, my opponent's going to snap the counter swell? Did we do it? I think we did it, guys. Trigger on the stack. Discard Fairy Macabre. Exile Counter Squall. And Liliana. Did we do it? Did we get lucky? Okay. I exiled the cards. Snapcaster resolved. Does Living End resolve? Opponent had a counter squall land. Oh. Well, I got a little excited for no reason, apparently. And that does it. So we're going to go ahead and jump into game 2 here. But I'm going to finish my thought before I start the sideboard. The reason Dredge is better than Living End, it's more explosive, and it has a better matchup against control decks because control decks can interact with via graveyard hate to your graveyard or to your creatures in your graveyard. But what they cannot do is they cannot counter like your Prized Amalgams, your Narcomoebas, your Bloodghast, and things like that. So that's why I think Living End is a lot worse of a deck than Dredge in this current metagame. But as for sideboarding, we have Ricochet Traps. We have another Beast Within. And I think that's it. Take out a Shriekmaw. Actually, you can bring another Fairy Macabre in. Just take out Shriekmaw. Probably the 2 Land Cyclers. And a Deadshot Minotaur, just because it doesn't really work well with the Fairy Macabre. And try it like this. Right there, I was debating shaving a Living End, but I decided against it because if my opponent just counters 2 of them, it's awkward for us. The reason I was debating shaving it was because I was thinking I'd rather have more creatures, but I decided against it. This hand is very good. I'll upkeep. We're missing a cycler, but we have a turn 2 Fulminator Mage and 3 cycler, or not a cascade spell. But we have a turn 3, or turn 2, rather, Fulminator Mage with a bunch of cyclers, so I'm okay with it. Play Foothills past turn. Opponent plays Watery Grave. Tapped. In step, I will crack the Wooded Foothills. Grab the Stomping Ground untapped. Cycle the Deadshot Minotaur. Draw a Living End. That's unfortunate. Play Copperline Gorge. Cast Fulminator Mage. Exile Spirit. Sack Fulminator Mage, blow up Watery Grave. Pass turn. Opponent Surgical's the Fulminator Mage. That's fine. Annoying, but fine. Opponent falls to 18 because of the Surgical Extraction. Plays a Mountain. Hopefully I got my opponent off blue mana. That would be good for us. I'll go ahead and cycle my Street Wraith here. Draw another Street Wraith. I'm not going to cycle this one yet. Drew the Violent Outburst, which is good for us. Play Bloodstained Mire. Huh. So I'm debating if I just want to cycle the Street Wraith and cast Violent Outburst here because they don't have blue mana, which I think is good for us. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll cycle the Street Wraith, draw a Ricochet Trap. Interesting. So what now I can do is I can try to draw another land for the Ricochet Trap. Which is what I think I'll try to do. It's because it's a little less loose. Lets my opponent stabilize and maybe get a blue mana. But it also allows me to put more pressure on them. End step, crack the Bloodstained Mire. Grab the Watery Grave untapped. Cycle Architect's Will. Okay. Drew a Deadshot Minotaur. Pass turn. So what I'm really looking for, opponent's just going to scoop it up. So what I was really looking for there was another land or a Spirit Guide so I could Ricochet Trap. It wasn't going to be a while, so I probably just would have casted the Violent Outburst once I seen the next one. And we're going to go to game 3 here. I don't know if you guys have noticed, I prefer to take the slower route of playing this deck. I just find it to be more consistent if you do that. Because if you like try to dump your hand, you can get hit with like Graveyard Hate, Surgical Extraction, as you've seen there. The only time I really get aggressive is if I know I'm in the clear, and I know it'll most likely win me the game. This hand is very bad. So we have one Cycler, the Cascade spell, and the Suspend, or in the Living End. This is basically a mulligan to 6, and I think I have a better 6 if I mulligan. This, unfortunately, is not the better 6 I was talking about. So I will mulligan this as well. Ugh. Should have kept my 7. If I got to keep a hand like this, which I do, unfortunately. I do need the 3rd land, so I can keep that on top. I'm going to place an island. Cast Serum Visions. Interesting. Drew the Wooded Foothills. So we will play Wooded Foothills, pass. Place Wooded Delta untapped and passes. Crack the Foothills. Grab a green-red Stomping Ground, untapped. Cycle the Caribou. Draw a Fairy Macabre. It's not very interesting here. Draw another Caribou. So play the Blackleaf Cliffs and pass turn. Opponent gets Steam Vents tapped. Opponent's in the tank right now, probably deciding which way they're going to kill me. I used to be very fond of this deck because you draw so many cards, but in this meta, I'm not a huge fan of it. For instep, I'll cycle the Caribou. Cycle another Caribou, rather. So something to be to note is Surgical Extraction right now. If I were Demonic Dread, I just living in for nothing. Play Black Cliffs. Do we cast the Spirit Guide? I think we're going to cast Spirit Guide here. Because I don't really think we're doing anything else. I don't want to cast the Fairy just because it's good against like Snapcaster. Simian Spirit Guide's good if I have a Ricochet Trap in hand, but I just have enough lands for that not to matter. Bolts my face. Opponent passes turn. We draw a Watery Grave. So we're going to play. I just want to suspend a Living End. I'm going to go combat first. Something also recognize suspending a Living End is also not that bad. I mean, it'll probably draw counter spells out of your opponent's hand, which will free up the being able to cast a Cascade spell into a Living End. Turned off my auto yields because my opponent plays our Snapcaster. I want to be able to Fairy Macabre away the Lightning Bolt if they're going to be aggressive with it. They're Lightning Bolt me, all to 11. Opponent is deciding what they need to cast here. Tassiger is fine. I don't mind a Tassiger. I was trying to debate what they're keeping up here because I was thinking maybe they're keeping up Dispel, but Living End's a sorcery. Can you choose the cast off suspend? The time count, cast it without paying its mana cost. Do you have to cast it? I think you do, which is unfortunate. Well, there's another Living End. So I think I am just going to Demonic Dread the Tassiger here, just because I'm going to deal enough damage to my opponent that the Living End in 2 turns I would have dealt some damage already. Red, black. Basically, what I'm deciding right now is I'm already in a losing position. So I might as well try to steal a win. Should have played my Watery Grave there, just in case my opponent has a Spell Pierce. And the reason I didn't use my Fairy Macabre there is because I don't want my opponent to get Tassiger back with the Living End off Suspend. Could have also probably attacked with the Spirit Guide there. By the Water Reef tapped, past turn. Now we're at the point we can just start hard casting dudes. Opponent snaps me or lightning bolts me. That's 3 lightning bolts for the opponent. No big deal. Opponent Serum Visions. They. Oh, man, this is an interesting game. I'm not going to lie. Are they going to terminate a monster Carabid? They're going to surgical extract a Living End. Oh, this is interesting because I can Fairy Macabre the Living End out of my graveyard and hit their Lightning Bolt as well. Do I care if they take the Living End to my hand? Kinda. Just because it'll allow me to get the 2 Carabids back. I think I will. Get the Living End and the... Do I want to hit Lightning Bolt or Tassiger? I think it's actually just Tassiger. Right, this way, if my opponent decides to not counter Living End, they're not getting any value off of it. So I wonder what they're debating here. I don't know of anything that could stop that. Okay, their surgical extraction fizzles. They suspend an ancestral vision. Pass turn. Draw a Dreadshot Minotaur or Deadshot Minotaur. Going to wait to cast it until this Living End resolves. Attack for 8. Opponent falls to set 6, 5 actually. My math is hard sometimes. Math is hard. Something else to consider I could do is I could cycle this if my Living End's going to resolve. Ancestral Vision removes a counter. Opponent Thought Scours themselves, moving Snap or Milling Snap and a Tarn. So now they could snap back the Lightning Bolt. They still have to block, I think. So you do have to cast it off suspended, unfortunately. Oh, forgot to hold priority. Whatever, it's fine. Not a big deal. If I can just cast my Deadshot Minotaur. It's gonna give Lightning Bolt flashback. I'll draw Wooded Foothills. I'm gonna go to combat. Oh wait, I can't attack. They don't have haste. So So I guess cycling the death shot wouldn't have done anything. It would have killed the Fairy Macabre anyways. So I think I'm just going to cycle now and hope to draw a spell I can cast. Draw a Beast Within, that's pretty good. Play the Foothills. Should I suspend the next Living End? I don't think so. My opponent going to bolt my face or bolt one of my creatures? That's the question I'm curious about. I choose to bolt my face. Okay, getting a little aggressive. Ancestral Vision removes a counter. My opponent's dead next turn if they don't have a removal spell, because I can just Beast Within on one of my cards. Playing a Steam Vents tapped. Okay. Not dead, I guess. I guess they go to 1. I always forget about blocking. I'm going to Beast Within Black Cleave Cliffs. Once again, I don't know if I said it this video or not. The background noise I can't really control if you guys can hear it. I'm recording in my dorm room. I apologize. Sack the Foothills, fall to 4. Grab a Overgrown Tree tapped. Go to combat. Opponent needs to fire off the removal spells here if they have them. Attack with all creatures. Opponent blocks Spirit Guide. Okay. I'm going to bolt my beast. Terminate the beast. That's fine. They fall to 3. I'm going to suspend the other Living End. Pass turn. Opponent removes a counter from their Ancestral Vision. Hopefully we can draw Ricochet trap the Ancestral Vision. That would be something I've never seen before, to say the least. Draw a Fulminator Mage. Not the worst. We're going to attack for 2 here. I got a Cryptic. They're going to tap my creatures and they draw a card. That's fine. That's why we didn't play the Fulminator Mage pre-combat. Here we'll cast the Fulminator Mage. Sack Fulminator Mage, blow up their Watery Grave. Pass turn. Ancestral Visions comes off suspend. Target themselves with Ancestral Vision, obviously. Hopefully they just drew duds. Creeping Tar Pit tapped. Living End removes a counter. Street Wraith. So we'll go to combat and pack the Street. We're going to fall to 1. They choose to fall to 1. Okay. So now we're just going to cast a Street Wraith. Pass turn. We really didn't need to cast a Street Wraith there. Because we have a Living End coming off suspend next turn. My play's been a little loose to put it nicely this game. My opponent's going to fire up the tar pit, probably put me down to 1. Huh. So my opponent they have to be able to counter my Living End, kill my Fairy Macabre, and attack me with Creeping Tar Pit here. I guess that's not hard. They're just not going to attack with the Creeping Tar Pit, so that means they probably have Cryptic Command. Cast Living End. Gets Cryptic. Probably taps my... Oh, it resolves. Interesting. It's going to terminate. Okay. That'll be good next turn. So I'll go ahead and play the Copperline Gorge and pass turn. I'm not going to use my Fulminator Mage here just because I want to make them be inefficient with their mana. I'm going to attack their tar pit. Or if my opponent has an Anger. Well, Anger doesn't even really keep them from dying, I don't think. Because it keeps 2 of my dudes alive. 3 of my dudes. One of them has Swamp Walk. Opponent plays an Island. Cast Tassiger. That's fine. I don't mind a Tassiger. So I guess what I'm debating here is if I care. Well, actually, I think I'm just going to fire off the... No. Well, I'm just going to take my turn. I don't think I have any reason to stop the tar pit. Go to combat. Opponent's letting me declare attacks, I think. Nope. Nope. Here's the Cryptic. Tap all of my creatures. They draw a card. Sure. It's annoying, but fine. Cast Architect's Will. See, this is why I play the Watery Grave and some decks don't. If it does turn into a grindy game, I would prefer to be able to cast my creatures. Architect's Will the opponent. So I definitely don't want to give them Dark Dwellers. But this is an interesting decision because if I put Dark Dwellers at the bottom, they can Tassiger during the upkeep and draw the Dark Dwellers. They won't have enough mana to cast it unless they have a land in their hand. So I think I will Watery Grave, Dark Dwellers, Polluted Delta. Putting the card in the middle, so if they do decide to activate Tassiger during their upkeep, they mill it. They did not decide to do that. Play Sulphur Falls. Fire up the Creeping Tar Pit. Okay, it's fine. Probably have a bolt in their hand. It's unfortunate for us. So go ahead and Fulminator Mage the Tar Pit. Block the Tassiger. Take 2 from Snap. Okay. Do they have the bolt? Do they have the 4th lightning bolt is the question. I guess Kolaghan Command does it too. Collective Brutality. Oh, maybe not. I'll go to combat. Attack with all my dudes. And we got it, guys. Woo, that was a good game. As always, guys, remember to like the video and comment down below any suggestions you have. If you want to critique any of my gameplay, let me know. I'm always open to hear suggestions if you guys think it could have been done better. Remember to subscribe to the channel, man. We're growing and growing, and we're going to keep growing. I got more decks in the rotation, so we're going to keep getting different decks each day. And I hope you guys have a good night. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.